Whee! All right. Hello. Short little video on this Sunday. I wanted to bring you along because I wanted to talk to you about, for one, the rising gas prices and how that is going to affect your business. I had to steal the wife's van today because it's kind of muddy in the backyard. My van's all clean, so I don't want to drive it around. And she's got the truck. She's actually going to pick up the door while she's out of town for this customer that I'm going to go to, and I'm going to show you. But I wanted to tell you about these rising gas prices, and I guess kind of the mistake I made, that was a neighbor, that I made when I was younger, green, right? I was afraid to charge more. And I don't want you to be afraid. You have to charge more for these gas prices. I always remember back when we had our the uniforms. The uniform guy, they would charge a surcharge on there, and we're gonna basically do the same thing here because gas prices are just getting a little bit too nutty, and we're not gonna absorb that. So we're gonna have to have our service calls, which are already a pretty good clip as it is, pretty high. And now we're going to have to actually add on these surcharges. But one thing to consider too is that what you want to do is, this is why it doesn't happen overnight, but you got to stay local, right? You got to stay local. And gas prices right now, let's take a look. Gas prices, $4.09. It's actually higher at other places. So actually it makes sense because this gas station normally, close to where I live, isn't normally this busy. But it's busy right now because everybody's trying to get $4.09. I heard it went up to, I think it's $4.24 down the road. And it just like, instead of everybody trying to be the cheapest, right now it's like they're trying to be the highest. So it's kind of a race to the top right now. And so I am very thankful that we actually have our customers that are very close and our loyal customers. I am super glad because I would be stressing back in the day right now when we used to do a lot of lows. And the problem is like when you did the lows and stuff like that, was that you were locked in. So as you being locked into that price of what they're going to pay you, yeah, there's little things you can do sometimes to get around it. But for the most part, you were just locked in. It was either like kind of like take it or leave it. And so right now I'd be stressing about all the jobs that we have going on. If we had to travel far away, it would not be a good situation. So don't be afraid to add a surcharge, a fuel surcharge if you need to. People are just going to have to understand. Unfortunately, you know how it goes. It's the customer pays for this stuff. I mean, me and you, when we buy things, heating and cooling, everything, food, you name it, it's just part of the deal. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to a job. I'm going to try to mitigate, I hope I'm saying that right, a problem. So I have not detailed this job yet. And what it was is I want to make sure the door that the wife's picking up is going to be the correct size because she's going to be right there at the vendors, and she could change it or decline it. So I feel like it's my duty to verify that this size is correct, because I tell you what, one thing I've learned in the garage door industry, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. You can never do enough micromanaging, never enough. And I'm not saying that like on like the employees and stuff. I'm saying that like as like looking at the product, checking sizes, double check the paperwork, shop drawings, reconfirm with an installer to the secretary. It does not matter. Just do it. It's easy. Just do it. It takes a few minutes and just to do it. It's like this job, beautiful. It's right down the road from where we're at, from my house. I'm gonna check it, because tomorrow's the day she's going to go grab it, and I don't want there to be, and plus I'm also doing this because if the builder missed something, I'm going to hound them. I'm going to say, look, dude, You forgot to put a spring pad. You forgot this. You forgot. Get your guys over there because they're going to be here in the next couple days. Get your crap in order, right? Because I don't want my guys to be discouraged. I don't want them to be upset. I don't want them to have the unknown. So we're just getting to pulling up on this job. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to pull in with this little minivan, but we'll see here. All right, here we go. Looks pretty solid. There's our overhead door. So with the situation with this door, with it being, it should be a 12 by 12. I'm gonna tell you right now, it don't look like that, but that's probably because the concrete's not here. So with this particular job, I guess what it was is the customer wanted to turn out to be the GC on it, general contractor. So they're trying to do their own thing, and I get this because I thought about it a couple days ahead. I called the builder and I said, "Hey, I said, when are you going to get concrete? Because if at all costs, if it can be avoided, always have concrete. It's just, I know it seems like a no-brainer, but I've done it. I'm doing it again. Just get the concrete. Just get concrete because then you can level out the door. It's just 100%. I mean, I'm just telling you this if you're new. It's the right thing to do. So the reason, and it all starts making sense. I told him, I said, so when are you getting concrete? And he says, I'm not. I said, what do you mean? And he says, because I'm not the GC on it. He says, my last obligation basically was the garage door. And then it's all on this customer. The customer wants to save some money, and I think it's biting them in the butt, to be honest. But whatever, it is what it is. So I get with my builder, basically, my boss. I understand that why he wants to get the garage door in, because he wants them to have no excuse that, oh, we couldn't heat the building, and so it's on you, and this is why we're not going to pay the rest of your money. I don't know all the details on that stuff, but I understand that. So we're going to get the door in. We're going to do our best we can on the dirt floors. It's going to stink, but we just got to do it. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet. We're going to get it installed for him, and then he's clear. And then we can get paid, and everybody can move on, and we can go on to the next project. So let's take a look. I'll show you around once I get inside there and established. So imagine this. I'm glad that I came, because guess what's not there? Guess who's going to get a phone call tomorrow? Because let's see if we can brighten this baby up a little bit. Oh, I didn't do nothing. But we do not have a header or a spring pad up there. So there you go. There's some funky steel up there. I don't know what that's for. Oh, that's to hold insulation in, I think. I think that's to hold insulation, so that's gonna be kind of tricky. Otherwise, it looks pretty straightforward. Huh? Yeah. So the builder is going to, I did measure it, it is a 12 by 12. So it appears that we are going to have a little fun. And we can see, let's take a little background picture here. I don't know what this thing does. Oh yeah, there we go. New to the phone. So, probably a homeless guy living down there. Not too bad. The GC was talking that the guy still doesn't have any insulation and whatnot. So, but this is it. And we need a piece of red steel right in the middle there. Definitely. So I was at a job, and I've seen this. It's my competition, and I seen them actually use perforated angle, which is okay. I can kind of live with that for like doing the operator on the side. But they also somebody, I don't know if it was them or not, but they put some really thin like galvanized steel instead of the red steel in the middle for the spring pad. And I tell you what, that stuff is so wobbly that it was like I would barely even put the spring on it. It was a semi-residential spring, but it was, I don't know, it was a 12 by 12, 12 by 14 door. And I literally thought to myself, I would not approve of this. I would not be happy with this. I mean, does it work? But if I put an opener on there, the trolley, when it's jerking back and forth, especially a commercial one that we're going to do, we need to change it out to some heavy red steel. I tell you what, this red steel is not cheap, at least from what I can tell. And especially now, it's probably even got worse because steel prices have gone up. So it's like everything's going up. It's just nuts. So anywho, this job's looking good. I just wanted to talk to you for a minute on this Sunday, and we're looking good. So do your due diligence. You cannot afford to not do your due diligence right now. You just can't. I'm just being honest. You just can't. You just can't afford it. Especially how long it's taken to get stuff. You got to do your due diligence. Say it right, Dave. So, anywho, hope you guys are doing good. Take care. Try not to get bummed out too bad with all this high inflation. Because it's coming, baby. It's coming. And it ain't going to be pretty. It's probably going to get worse before it gets better, to be honest. I've been through this before. I know it's coming. You know, we're going to have that whole housing crisis. It's going to get bad. And this time it might be a little bit worse. But if you're new and you still got, you know, if you're kind of doing a part-time gig, probably keep it. You know what I mean? Because if you got a full-time, right now it's going to get pretty hairy. I just have that feeling. Luckily, I'm sure it's going to affect us somehow too, but we have a lot of commercial, and I feel good about that. And we're not with the builders. You got to watch those builders. Better make sure they're paying their bills, because those residential builders are the first ones. They'll snap and buckle, and they won't pay you, and they'll fly the coop on you. I've seen it. I've seen it here in our own town. We used to have like 5 of them, and they were driving around brand new SUVs, and they just looked like they had everything figured out. And then poof, the guy lives down in a trailer now on the lake during the summer months, and he flips like one house now. You know, and I'm not bashing him. I think that's pretty cool to some degree. But I'm just saying, from going from running 15, 20 houses at a time to all of a sudden poof, living down by the river in a van. Which isn't so bad sometimes, but I'm just letting you know. So anyways, if you don't mind, on the way out, if you made it this far, hit that like button. Become a subscriber if you would. I love your guys' comments. I love reading your intel. Anyways, see you. Have a great Sunday. Take care.